Bill Gates is a name that needs no introduction. As one of the richest individuals in the world, his journey from a young tech enthusiast to a global entrepreneur has been nothing short of extraordinary. But what makes Bill Gates stand out is not just his wealth, it's the powerful mindset, strategies, and principles he's followed to build his vast empire. In this video, we're going to break down the key lessons that Gates' life can teach us. From the early days of Microsoft to his work in philanthropy, we'll explore how his thinking has shaped the way we approach business, success, and even failure. Born in 1955 in Seattle, Bill Gates was always driven by an insatiable curiosity. His early exposure to computers, when they were still in their infancy, laid the groundwork for a future that would transform the world. Gates' strategic thinking and relentless focus on innovation helped him turn a small software company into a billion-dollar empire. But his success didn't come overnight. So, what can we learn from his journey? How can we apply these lessons to our own lives and businesses? Stay tuned as we dive into the first major lesson from Bill Gates' philosophy, a mindset that has powered his success for decades. Bill Gates' journey to success didn't start in a corporate office or with a massive investment. It all began in the 1960s, when he was just a teenager with a passion for technology. Born into a well-off family, Gates had access to education, but it was his hunger for knowledge and his curiosity that truly set him apart. At the age of 13, Gates wrote his first computer program. It was a simple game called tic-tac-toe, but it marked the beginning of a lifelong obsession with technology. Gates didn't just dabble in coding, he dove deep into the world of computers, constantly seeking ways to push the boundaries of what was possible. His academic performance was strong, but his true strength lay in his ability to think outside the box. He wasn't interested in following conventional paths. He wanted to forge his own. One of the most important lessons we can take away from Gates' early years is the importance of pursuing your passion relentlessly. Gates didn't settle for mediocrity, he found what excited him and pursued it with single-minded determination. Even as a teenager, he was willing to break rules to get access to the best resources. In fact, Gates and his friends managed to get unlimited access to computer time at a local company by exploiting a glitch in the system. While this could have been seen as mischievous, it was also a testament to his ingenuity and willingness to do whatever it took to learn and grow. This early pursuit of passion wasn't just about coding, it was about cultivating a mindset of innovation. Gates understood that the key to success in technology was not just about mastering the tools of the trade, but about envisioning new ways to use those tools to solve problems. His early experiences laid the foundation for his future business ventures, setting the stage for the creation of Microsoft. Gates' story reminds us of an essential truth: success often starts with a strong foundation built on passion, curiosity, and a willingness to go against the grain. It's about dedicating yourself to mastering something that excites you and seeking out opportunities to learn, no matter how unconventional they may be. In 1975, Bill Gates and his friend, Paul Allen, launched a company that would eventually change the world, Microsoft. But what drove them to start it, and how did they turn a small venture into one of the most influential companies in history? The idea for Microsoft came when Gates and Allen saw an opportunity to create a software solution for the fledgling personal computer market. At the time, computers were large, clunky, and used primarily by businesses, universities, and the military. There was no real market for personal computers, but Gates and Allen believed that personal computing would be the future. They saw something others didn't: a world where every home, school, and office would have a computer. This vision became the driving force behind Microsoft's creation. In 1975, they saw an advertisement for the Altair 8800, one of the first personal computers, and immediately recognized the opportunity. The Altair was a machine that needed software, specifically an operating system. Gates and Allen contacted the creators of the Altair and promised that they could provide them with a basic interpreter for the machine. There was just one problem: they didn't have the software yet. They worked around the clock to create the basic interpreter and managed to deliver the product on time, even though they had no actual working model of the Altair to test it on. This is where Gates' relentless drive and problem-solving mindset truly shone. He recognized that the future of computing wasn't just about creating hardware, it was about creating the software that would power those devices. By focusing on the software side of the computer revolution, Gates was positioning Microsoft for success in a market that would eventually explode. The success of the Altair project was just the beginning. Microsoft quickly became a leader in the software industry, thanks to Gates' vision and his ability to anticipate the needs of the market. In 1980, Microsoft struck a deal with IBM to provide an operating system for their new personal computer. This was a pivotal moment for the company. Gates didn't just sell IBM a license for a pre-existing operating system, he sold them the rights to a system he had yet to develop. This was a bold move that would set Microsoft apart from its competitors and ensure that it would dominate the personal computing industry for decades to come. Through these early years, Gates and his team at Microsoft developed a culture of innovation, speed, and adaptability. Unlike many of its competitors, Microsoft was quick to embrace new technologies and find ways to improve upon them. This ability to innovate and stay ahead of the curve was a key factor in the company's success. But the road to success was not without its challenges. Gates faced numerous obstacles, from competition with other tech giants to navigating the complex world of business negotiations. However, his ability to see the big picture and his relentless pursuit of success kept him focused, no matter how many setbacks he encountered. One of the most important lessons from Microsoft's early days is the importance of vision. Gates didn't just build a company, he built an empire based on the belief that personal computing would change the world. His ability to recognize emerging trends and capitalize on them helped Microsoft become the dominant force in the industry. It wasn't just about creating software, it was about creating the foundation for a digital revolution. Gates' story also highlights the value of taking risks. By not only pursuing software when hardware was the focus of the industry but also by making bold deals like the IBM contract, Gates was positioning Microsoft in a way that would pay off handsomely in the long run. This willingness to take calculated risks and challenge the status quo was crucial in his rise to success. In the end, Bill Gates' vision for Microsoft was a reflection of his belief in the transformative power of technology. What began as a small software company quickly grew into a global powerhouse that would change the way people live, work, and interact with the world. As Microsoft grew, it didn't just become a player in the tech industry, it became the tech industry. Through strategic decisions, aggressive expansion, and a relentless pursuit of innovation, Gates transformed Microsoft into a global powerhouse. But it wasn't always smooth sailing. In the mid-1980s, Microsoft's operating system, MS-DOS, was the driving force behind its early success. It was the platform that powered IBM's personal computers, which were becoming increasingly popular. However, Gates knew that in order to stay ahead, Microsoft needed to continually evolve. By the early 1990s, he recognized the importance of graphical user interfaces, GUIs, in making computers more user-friendly. This led to the development of Windows, which launched in 1985, and would eventually become the most widely used operating system in the world. The introduction of Windows marked a turning point for Microsoft. While MS-DOS was a text-based system, Windows featured a graphical interface that made it easier for users to interact with their computers. This shift not only made computing more accessible to the masses but also set Microsoft apart from its competitors. The success of Windows was pivotal in establishing Microsoft as the dominant player in the software industry. But success also brought increased scrutiny and competition. Microsoft faced legal challenges, particularly from the U.S. government, which accused the company of anti-competitive practices. In 1998, the U.S. Department of Justice filed an antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft, alleging that the company had used its monopoly power to stifle competition. The case was a defining moment in Gates' career, and it forced Microsoft to change some of its business practices. However, despite the legal battles, Microsoft continued to thrive, thanks in large part to Gates' leadership. During this time, Gates also began to focus on expanding Microsoft's reach beyond just operating systems. He recognized that the internet was becoming a powerful force, and Microsoft needed to adapt. In 1995, Microsoft launched its own web browser, Internet Explorer, in an attempt to compete with Netscape, the leader in web browsing at the time. Although Internet Explorer would eventually dominate the browser market, the battle for supremacy in the early days of the internet was fierce, and Gates had to make quick decisions to ensure Microsoft's success. Through the 1990s and early 2000s, Microsoft continued to expand its product offerings. Gates pushed the company into the world of productivity software with products like Microsoft Office, which became the industry standard for word processing, spreadsheets, and presentations. Microsoft also ventured into gaming with the launch of the Xbox in 2001, which would go on to become a major player in the gaming industry. But throughout all of this, Gates never lost sight of his original vision, that software would be the key to the digital revolution. He believed that technology could improve lives, create opportunities, and shape the future. And this belief drove every decision he made at Microsoft. The company's dominance in the tech world was undeniable. By the late 1990s, Microsoft was the largest software company in the world, and Gates was the richest person on the planet. But despite his wealth and influence, Gates maintained a laser focus on his work. He wasn't just building a company, he was building a legacy. However, as Microsoft grew, so did its challenges. The company faced increasing competition from new tech giants like Google and Apple, who were also innovating and redefining the tech landscape. This forced Gates to think differently about Microsoft's future. In the mid-2000s, he began stepping back from his daily role at Microsoft to focus on larger projects, including philanthropy through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. But even as Gates moved away from the day-to-day operations of Microsoft, his legacy was firmly cemented. Under his leadership, Microsoft became not just a company but a symbol of innovation, ambition, and the power of technology to change the world. Gates' ability to create a culture of innovation at Microsoft, along with his strategic decisions, laid the foundation for the company's continued success and influence in the tech industry. In this chapter, we see how Gates' vision and leadership helped Microsoft dominate the tech world. His foresight in software development, his willingness to adapt to new technologies, and his ability to navigate challenges all played a key role in making Microsoft the tech giant it is today. In the early 2000s, as Microsoft continued its dominance in the tech world, Bill Gates began to shift his focus. After decades of building his empire, he made a profound decision. He would step away from the daily operations of the company to focus on philanthropy. This transition marked the beginning of what would become one of the most impactful charitable efforts in modern history. In 2000, Gates and his then-wife, Melinda, launched the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, with the mission to enhance healthcare, reduce extreme poverty, and expand access to education and technology. This new venture would ultimately become the world's largest private charitable foundation. Gates, with his immense wealth and influence, sought to tackle some of the world's most pressing problems, issues he felt he could address using the resources and networks he had built over the years at Microsoft. The foundation's early focus was on global health, particularly combating diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS. These diseases were ravaging populations in the developing world, and Gates saw an opportunity to apply both his philanthropic efforts and his knack for technological innovation to help combat these crises. By funding research, providing vaccines, and supporting healthcare systems, the foundation started making an impact almost immediately. One of the foundation's most notable successes came through its work in the fight against malaria. Gates recognized that malaria, a disease often ignored by traditional pharmaceutical companies due to its low profitability, needed new research and development. The Gates Foundation invested heavily in malaria research, funding projects that led to significant advancements in treatments and prevention methods. Their efforts contributed to a dramatic reduction in malaria-related deaths worldwide. Gates' approach to philanthropy was shaped by his experience in business. He applied the same rigorous, data-driven methodologies that had driven Microsoft's success to his charitable endeavors. He believed in measuring results, constantly evaluating the effectiveness of programs, and ensuring that funds were used in the most efficient way possible. This mindset led to the Gates Foundation becoming known for its pragmatic approach to philanthropy, focusing on scalable, sustainable solutions rather than just short-term fixes. But Gates didn't stop with global health. The foundation also focused on education, particularly in the United States. Gates recognized the importance of education in breaking the cycle of poverty and empowering individuals to improve their lives. Through various initiatives, the foundation funded scholarships, supported educational reforms, and helped improve access to quality education for underprivileged students. The Gates Foundation's work also extended to technology and innovation. Gates had always believed in the transformative power of technology, and he sought to use his wealth to bring cutting-edge innovations to places where they could have the greatest impact. Through initiatives like the Digital Inclusion Program, the foundation worked to provide access to technology in underserved communities, which could help bridge the digital divide and foster economic growth. Yet, philanthropy didn't come without its own set of challenges. Despite the foundation's successes, it faced criticism. Some argued that Gates, as a wealthy individual, was steering global philanthropy too much toward his personal priorities, while others questioned whether large private donations could effectively address systemic social issues. Additionally, the foundation's focus on technological solutions was sometimes seen as too narrow, with critics arguing that a more holistic approach to poverty and healthcare was necessary. Despite these challenges, Gates and his foundation persevered, driven by a deep sense of responsibility and his belief that technology could solve many of the world's problems. Over the years, the foundation's work has impacted millions of lives, and Gates has continued to use his platform to encourage others in the tech industry to engage in philanthropy. In 2008, Gates made another bold move. He announced that he would be transitioning out of his full-time role at Microsoft to dedicate himself entirely to the foundation. This decision was not an easy one, as Microsoft had been his life's work. However, Gates felt that his growing philanthropic efforts would have a far-reaching impact, and he committed to using his influence to make lasting change in the world. This chapter of Gates' life shows us that true legacy isn't just about accumulating wealth and power, it's about using those resources to better the world. Gates' commitment to addressing global health crises, improving education, and bridging the digital divide has left an indelible mark on society. In the world of philanthropy, he is a pioneer, demonstrating that technology, when applied correctly, can be a powerful tool for social good. As Bill Gates' wealth and influence grew, so did the scrutiny and criticism of his actions, both in business and philanthropy. Despite his remarkable success, his life hasn't been free from controversy, and it's crucial to understand how he has navigated these challenges. One of the most significant criticisms Gates faced during his time at Microsoft was the company's business practices, particularly concerning antitrust issues. Microsoft's dominance in the software market, especially with Windows and Internet Explorer, led to accusations that Gates' company was engaging in anti-competitive behavior. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Microsoft was investigated by the U.S. government for allegedly using its monopoly power to stifle competition and maintain an unfair advantage. The centerpiece of these investigations was Microsoft's integration of Internet Explorer into the Windows operating system, which many argued was an attempt to crush competitors like Netscape Navigator. The U.S. Department of Justice filed a landmark antitrust lawsuit against Microsoft, accusing the company of monopolistic practices that harmed consumers and stifled innovation. For Gates, this was a turning point. As one of the wealthiest men in the world, he became a symbol of corporate power, and not always in a positive light. The legal battle was long and intense, and while Microsoft ultimately settled with the U.S. government in 2001, the case left a permanent mark on Gates' reputation. Critics argued that his approach to business was overly aggressive and exploitative, while others felt that Microsoft's practices were a necessary part of achieving success in the competitive tech world. Though the legal battles were resolved, the public perception of Gates as a ruthless businessman remained in the background for much of his career. He had built Microsoft into a tech giant, but at what cost to competition and innovation? Some viewed him as a visionary, while others saw him as the epitome of corporate greed. This dichotomy between admiration and criticism has followed Gates throughout his career. But the challenges didn't end with Microsoft. As Gates transitioned into full-time philanthropy, his charitable efforts were also met with skepticism. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, despite its immense contributions to global health and education, has faced its share of criticism. Some have questioned whether private philanthropy, especially at the scale that Gates was operating on, could truly address systemic issues like poverty and inequality. Critics argue that such large-scale philanthropic efforts, while well-intentioned, can sometimes serve to reinforce the status quo, benefiting those with power rather than addressing the root causes of problems. One of the most debated topics has been the foundation's focus on technological solutions to global issues. Gates, with his background in tech, has heavily invested in technology-driven solutions, from vaccine development to education reforms. While these efforts have undoubtedly made a difference, some have argued that relying on technology alone may overlook the complex social, economic, and political factors that contribute to global poverty and disease. Another area of controversy has been Gates' involvement in global health initiatives, particularly in the fight against diseases like malaria and polio. While his contributions have undeniably saved lives, some have questioned whether his foundation's approach has been the most effective in addressing these issues. For example, the Gates Foundation has been criticized for its emphasis on market-based solutions, which some argue may not be the best way to address the needs of the world's poorest populations. Additionally, Gates has faced backlash over his role in global vaccination campaigns. In some countries, conspiracy theories and misinformation have fueled mistrust of vaccines, and Gates has become a target for these claims. Critics have painted him as a villain, accusing him of using his philanthropy to promote a global agenda that undermines national sovereignty and personal freedoms. Although these accusations have been debunked by experts, the controversy surrounding Gates and vaccines persists in some circles. Despite the criticism, Gates has consistently defended his work and his approach to philanthropy. He has argued that the foundation's work is based on solid research, and that its mission is to improve lives by finding effective, sustainable solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems. In interviews and public statements, Gates has emphasized that he and his team are always open to feedback and constantly evaluate the effectiveness of their programs. Gates' ability to weather these storms, whether in the courtroom or in the court of public opinion, speaks to his resilience. He has faced criticism head-on, often acknowledging the challenges and working to address them, all while remaining committed to his overarching mission of global improvement. Ultimately, these controversies do not diminish the profound impact Gates has had on both the tech industry and philanthropy. They serve as reminders that even the most successful individuals are not immune to criticism and that true leadership often involves grappling with difficult questions and making tough decisions. Gates' ability to navigate these controversies while continuing to push forward with his philanthropic efforts is a testament to his resolve and determination. As we've explored the life and career of Bill Gates, it's clear that his impact extends far beyond the realm of technology. His story is not just about creating wealth or building a company, it's about shaping industries, influencing global health, and leaving an indelible mark on society. So, what is the legacy of Bill Gates? First and foremost, Gates' innovation in the tech world is undeniable. Microsoft revolutionized personal computing, and in many ways, Gates helped define the digital age. His company created the software that powered the personal computer revolution, making technology accessible to millions. The Windows operating system, along with other Microsoft products like Office and Internet Explorer, became staples of the modern office and home computer experience. Gates' vision for software as an essential tool for business and personal use was groundbreaking, and it laid the foundation for the internet-driven world we live in today. Gates' legacy in technology is also tied to his early recognition of the transformative potential of software. At a time when computers were primarily used by specialists in research labs or large corporations, Gates saw the broader potential. His belief that software could empower individuals and businesses alike set the stage for the widespread adoption of personal computing. This vision has continued to influence the tech industry, as Microsoft remains one of the largest and most influential companies in the world. But Gates' legacy is not confined to the tech world. In the years since stepping down from his role at Microsoft, he has become one of the leading figures in global philanthropy. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gates has poured billions of dollars into global health initiatives, poverty alleviation, education, and climate change. His philanthropic efforts have transformed entire sectors, particularly in the field of public health. Perhaps his most notable achievements in philanthropy are his contributions to the fight against infectious diseases. Gates has played a pivotal role in the development and distribution of vaccines for diseases like polio, malaria, and more recently, COVID-19. The Gates Foundation's efforts have saved millions of lives, particularly in the world's poorest regions, and have helped to address some of the most pressing health challenges of the 21st century. In addition to health, Gates has also focused heavily on education reform. Through the foundation, he has advocated for improved access to quality education, particularly in developing countries. His foundation has supported initiatives to improve teacher quality, provide better learning resources, and expand educational opportunities for underserved communities. Gates believes that education is the key to breaking the cycle of poverty, and his work reflects a deep commitment to creating lasting change through knowledge and opportunity. One of the most significant aspects of Gates' legacy is his focus on sustainability and climate change. Recognizing that climate change presents one of the most critical challenges facing humanity, Gates has invested heavily in green technologies and solutions to reduce carbon emissions. His book How to Avoid a Climate Disaster outlines his vision for a sustainable future, focusing on the need for innovation in energy, transportation, and agriculture to address the crisis. While his philanthropic work has had an enormous impact, Gates' legacy is not without its critics. Some have argued that his wealth and influence give him too much power over global policy, while others question the efficacy of large-scale philanthropy in addressing systemic issues. But despite the criticism, Gates' contributions to global development and health cannot be ignored. His work has undeniably changed the lives of millions of people around the world. Gates' legacy also includes his role as a visionary. He has consistently been able to anticipate trends and understand the potential of emerging technologies. His early support for the internet, cloud computing, and artificial intelligence demonstrated his ability to stay ahead of the curve. Even as Microsoft's role in the tech industry has evolved, Gates' influence remains strong, and his ideas continue to shape the future of technology. In conclusion, Bill Gates' legacy is multifaceted and complex. It includes groundbreaking innovations in the tech industry, transformative contributions to global health and education, and a deep commitment to addressing the challenges of climate change. While his career has been marked by controversy and criticism, it's impossible to deny the profound impact he has had on both the business world and society as a whole. Gates' legacy will continue to shape the future, not just in technology, but in the lives of people around the globe. Bill Gates' influence extends beyond just his groundbreaking contributions to the development of Microsoft. His impact on business practices and the tech industry as a whole has been profound and far-reaching. In fact, Gates has been a key figure in shaping the way technology companies operate today, influencing everything from corporate strategy to innovation and leadership. One of the hallmarks of Gates' success in business was his strategic vision. From the beginning, he had a clear understanding of where the industry was headed and positioned Microsoft to take advantage of emerging trends. In the early days of Microsoft, Gates recognized that software would be the driving force behind the personal computing revolution. He then focused on creating a software platform that could be used across various types of hardware, ensuring that Microsoft's products would be the standard for computing worldwide. This strategy paid off when Microsoft's Windows operating system became the dominant platform for personal computers. Gates' ability to anticipate the future direction of technology allowed Microsoft to not only survive but thrive in a competitive and rapidly evolving market. His ability to spot opportunities and act on them quickly was central to the company's success. Another key factor in Gates' business approach was his relentless focus on innovation. He understood that in the tech world, staying ahead of the competition meant constantly innovating and refining products. Microsoft's success was not just about dominating the market, it was about setting the standard for how personal computers could be used. Gates pushed his team to innovate continually, resulting in groundbreaking products like Windows, Microsoft Office, and Internet Explorer. This drive for innovation wasn't limited to the software side of things. Gates also understood the importance of acquisitions in expanding Microsoft's reach and capabilities. Over the years, Microsoft acquired a number of smaller companies, allowing it to incorporate new technologies and expand its product offerings. These acquisitions helped Microsoft maintain its competitive edge and position itself as a leader in the tech industry. However, Gates' influence was not solely confined to Microsoft. His approach to business and leadership has influenced an entire generation of entrepreneurs and tech leaders. Many of today's most successful tech companies have been shaped by the lessons learned from Gates' leadership style. For example, Gates was known for his competitive drive, always striving to outpace rivals and set the bar for others to follow. This mentality has been adopted by numerous entrepreneurs and companies, driving innovation and competition across the tech industry. Gates' approach to building a business was also characterized by his emphasis on long-term growth. While many tech companies focus on short-term profits, Gates always had an eye on the future. His decision to reinvest profits into Microsoft rather than taking them out as dividends allowed the company to grow and innovate at an accelerated pace. This focus on reinvestment paid off in the long run, as Microsoft became one of the most valuable companies in the world. In addition to his business acumen, Gates is also known for his leadership style. He was deeply involved in the day-to-day operations of Microsoft and was known for being a hands-on leader. Gates had high expectations for his employees and wasn't afraid to challenge them to perform at their best. This leadership style contributed to the company's success, as it fostered a culture of excellence and accountability. Gates' commitment to excellence extended beyond the office, as he also emphasized the importance of ethics in business. He was a strong advocate for corporate responsibility and believed that businesses should have a positive impact on society. In the broader business world, Gates' influence can be seen in the rise of tech giants like Amazon, Google, and Apple. These companies, while distinct from Microsoft in many ways, share common principles with Gates' approach to business. For example, companies like Amazon and Google have adopted the same focus on long-term growth, innovation, and reinvestment in research and development. Additionally, many of today's successful tech leaders cite Gates as an inspiration in terms of leadership style and vision. Looking beyond the tech industry, Gates has also influenced other sectors, including finance and philanthropy. His approach to investing and managing wealth has been studied by business leaders and investors worldwide. Gates has also been a key player in advocating for social responsibility in business, helping to redefine the role of corporations in society. His philanthropic work, particularly through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, has set a new standard for how the world's wealthiest individuals can use their resources to address global issues. In conclusion, Bill Gates' influence on business and technology is undeniable. His visionary leadership, commitment to innovation, and focus on long-term growth have shaped the tech industry and inspired generations of entrepreneurs. Gates' business practices continue to serve as a model for success, not only in the tech world but across industries. His legacy as a business leader will continue to influence the world for years to come. While Bill Gates is widely recognized for his achievements in the tech industry, his most lasting impact may come from his transition into philanthropy. In the early 2000s, Gates began to shift his focus from leading Microsoft to addressing some of the world's most pressing social problems. This shift signaled a new chapter in Gates' life and career, one that would see him use his wealth and influence to improve the lives of millions. One of the key moments in Gates' transition to philanthropy came in 2000, when he and his then-wife, Melinda, established the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation's mission was clear: to enhance healthcare, reduce extreme poverty, and expand educational opportunities and access to information technology. At the heart of the foundation's work is Gates' belief that global health and education are key to breaking the cycle of poverty. One of the first major initiatives of the foundation focused on combating infectious diseases in the developing world. At the time, diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS were rampant in many parts of Africa and Asia, causing millions of deaths each year. Gates recognized that addressing these health crises was crucial for improving quality of life and promoting economic development in these regions. Under the leadership of Gates, the foundation has contributed billions of dollars to global health initiatives, funding programs that provide vaccines, support healthcare infrastructure, and combat preventable diseases. One of the most notable achievements of the Gates Foundation in this area is its work on vaccines. The foundation has invested heavily in the development and distribution of vaccines, particularly for diseases like polio, which had been largely eradicated in many parts of the world but remained a significant threat in others. Gates' commitment to global health also led to the foundation's efforts to combat malnutrition. By working with organizations around the world, the Gates Foundation has helped provide nutritional supplements to children in impoverished areas, improving their chances of survival and development. The foundation is also focused on providing access to clean water and sanitation, which are critical for preventing the spread of disease in many parts of the world. In addition to healthcare, Gates has also focused on improving education through the foundation. Gates believes that education is one of the most powerful tools for lifting people out of poverty and creating a more just and equitable world. The foundation has invested in initiatives aimed at improving public education systems, particularly in the United States. These efforts have included funding for teacher training programs, supporting schools in underserved communities, and advocating for education reform. Another area of focus for the Gates Foundation is access to information technology. Gates recognized early on that the internet could be a powerful tool for education, economic development, and social change. To this end, the foundation has worked to expand access to technology in underprivileged communities around the world. By providing grants to organizations that bring internet access and computers to schools and communities, the foundation has helped bridge the digital divide and provided people with the tools they need to succeed in the modern world. Despite the foundation's significant accomplishments, Gates' philanthropic journey has not been without its challenges. One of the most notable controversies surrounding the Gates Foundation has been its approach to partnering with corporations and governments. Some critics have argued that the foundation's close relationships with large corporations, particularly in the pharmaceutical and agricultural sectors, could lead to conflicts of interest and influence the foundation's priorities. Gates has responded to these criticisms by defending the foundation's evidence-based approach and emphasizing that partnerships with the private sector are necessary to tackle large-scale global issues. Despite these challenges, the Gates Foundation has made a profound impact on global health, education, and development. Gates himself has said that he views his philanthropic work as his greatest legacy, even more so than his achievements with Microsoft. The billions of dollars donated by the foundation have not only saved lives but have also created opportunities for individuals and communities to thrive. Gates' dedication to philanthropy and his belief in using his wealth to address the world's most pressing issues have set a new standard for what it means to be a wealthy individual in the modern world. His approach to philanthropy is focused on long-term solutions, with an emphasis on sustainability and systemic change. By tackling the root causes of poverty, disease, and inequality, Gates has been able to make a lasting difference in the lives of millions of people. Looking ahead, the Gates Foundation continues to focus on addressing some of the world's most urgent challenges, from climate change to global health crises. Gates' philanthropic efforts have proven that with a combination of vision, resources, and collaboration, it is possible to tackle the world's toughest problems and create lasting change. His transition from tech mogul to philanthropist serves as a powerful reminder that true success lies not just in accumulating wealth, but in using it to make the world a better place. As we look at Bill Gates' journey, it becomes clear that his legacy is not only defined by his success in the tech world but also by his transformative impact on global philanthropy. From his humble beginnings to his rise as one of the wealthiest and most influential people on the planet, Gates has continuously sought to use his resources and influence for the greater good. So, what does his legacy ultimately look like? First and foremost, Gates' legacy is rooted in the revolutionary changes he brought to technology. Microsoft, under his leadership, created products that fundamentally altered the way people interacted with computers. The personal computer, powered by Microsoft's Windows operating system, became a staple in homes and businesses around the world. The company's contributions to software development, including programs like Microsoft Office and Internet Explorer, were integral in shaping the early stages of the digital age. In many ways, Gates can be credited with helping lay the groundwork for the tech-driven world we live in today. But Gates' legacy extends far beyond software. His role in shaping the tech industry and its future cannot be overstated. The rise of Microsoft under his leadership set the stage for the dominance of tech giants like Apple, Google, and Amazon. Gates helped define the competitive, fast-paced, and ever-evolving nature of the modern tech landscape. His vision for the potential of personal computing and software helped drive the industry forward, and even after stepping down from his role at Microsoft, he remains an influential figure within the tech world. However, perhaps the most significant aspect of Bill Gates' legacy is his commitment to philanthropy and global development. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gates has dedicated much of his wealth and energy to solving some of the world's most pressing challenges. The foundation's focus on global health, education, and poverty reduction has made a tangible difference in the lives of millions of people, especially in the developing world. Gates' philanthropic work has reshaped how the wealthy engage with social issues, setting a high bar for corporate social responsibility and individual giving. One of the hallmarks of Gates' philanthropic approach is his focus on data-driven solutions. Unlike many traditional charity efforts, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation takes a scientific and systematic approach to identifying and solving problems. From supporting the development of vaccines to improving agricultural practices in developing countries, Gates has emphasized that effective solutions require a deep understanding of the issues at hand. This focus on evidence-based strategies has allowed the foundation to make meaningful and lasting contributions to a wide range of global challenges. Another important aspect of Gates' legacy is his ability to collaborate with others. Gates has worked closely with governments, businesses, and other philanthropic organizations to leverage their resources and expertise in tackling large-scale problems. Through partnerships with organizations like the World Health Organization, UNICEF, and the Global Fund, the Gates Foundation has been able to maximize its impact. Gates' willingness to engage with others and bring them into the fold has been one of the key factors behind the success of his philanthropic initiatives. Despite his massive influence and success, Gates has faced criticism and scrutiny throughout his career. Some have questioned his business practices during Microsoft's rise, including concerns about monopolistic behavior and antitrust violations. Others have criticized the Gates Foundation's ties to corporations, particularly in the pharmaceutical industry, where some believe the foundation's partnerships may conflict with its philanthropic goals. Additionally, the immense wealth Gates has accumulated has led to debates about the role of billionaires in society and whether they should be responsible for addressing systemic issues. Nevertheless, Gates' impact on the world is undeniable. He has not only helped shape the technology landscape but has also used his platform to address global inequality and improve the lives of the most vulnerable. His philanthropic work, though not without challenges and debates, has inspired a new generation of billionaires and philanthropists to take a more active role in solving the world's problems. Gates has shown that wealth, when used responsibly, can be a powerful tool for good. Looking ahead, Bill Gates' legacy will undoubtedly continue to evolve. His efforts to address climate change, global health, and educational inequity will likely shape the future of his philanthropic endeavors, and his influence on the tech industry will remain significant. Gates' legacy will likely be remembered as a testament to the power of innovation, philanthropy, and a relentless commitment to improving the world. In the end, Bill Gates' story is one of vision, resilience, and a deep belief that technology and philanthropy can work together to create a better world. While his path to success has been marked by both triumphs and challenges, his legacy will continue to inspire individuals and organizations to use their resources and influence for the greater good. Gates' journey serves as a powerful reminder that true success is not just about what you achieve, but also about the positive impact you leave on the world.